This is Chalet refugee camp in the north of the country, and it's been here now for 17 years, enduring testament to Afghanistan's wars. Originally there were tents here, now it's mud hovels. Chalet's taken on an air of permanence like the Palestinian camps of Lebanon, except the poverty and despair here is on an altogether different level. Sadiqa, a wealthy woman from Kabul, has made the long journey up here with an agent, Nargis. Sadiqa, in the leather coat, has come shopping. And our team will have to move carefully here. It's not clear they'll be able to film what's about to happen. Because Sadiqa has come to buy a child, a boy, obviously. Nobody wants a girl. And in the desperate poverty of Chalet refugee camp, a father, Nek Mohammed, is willing to sell a son. It is the only way he can feed the other children through the coming winter. She wants to buy Qasem, who's 8 years old. Nargis, the agent, has already bought one of Qasem's brothers. The father, Nek Mohammed, begs to know how that boy's doing in Kabul. He's fine, they say. And Sadiqa buys the other son, Qasem. Say your goodbyes now. It's time to go, she says. At this point, our translator had to ask, surely this is wrong.
Yes, you are right. It's cruel, but I have two aims here. First, to give this boy a bright future and a good education. And second, to save their other children. The winter is coming, and I have given them money so the children don't die of hunger.
The going rate for an 8-year-old boy in Afghanistan today, $1,500.
I sold a piece of my heart to stop my 4 other children dying of hunger. I don't have an elder son. I'm also sick. My kidney is failing. My body is in pain.
Sadiqa and her agent Nargis were happy to be named but not shown. Nargis has brokered the deal.
This is the second child they're selling because of the problems they face. We can't stand this either.
Here the question Afghans ask everywhere. What happened to all the aid the West poured into this country? 7 years of massive intervention and Afghans still live with their toilet and kitchen in the same space. As one farmer put it, trying to scrape a living in the drought-stricken fields.
People are going to Iran and Pakistan or joining the Taliban because they're poor and don't have a future.
You don't have far to go to find the Taliban. Just a few miles from the refugee camp, Mulla Meshe, Taliban commander and landowner, has a queue of people lining up with their problems. An MP's surgery, perhaps, Taliban style. Only he's not elected, of course, and you only get heard if your complaint's written down on new Taliban stationery. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, it says. So here you have it, the much talked about parallel Talibanistan, gradually spreading across the country. And why? Because you can't get government officials to do anything without endless bakshish and corruption, they say.
I'm serving my people in the name of God. Because the government is not helping, people are turning their backs on them. Everyone is coming to us. It's an honor to serve our people.
People like Jalal, who is blind and has a dispute over some land. So he's come here because he trusts the Taliban to sort it more than the government. And there are many, many Afghans like Jalal. Even so, the Taliban here repay this public trust with public extortion. Just a few feet away, they're taking money for electricity. The Taliban can't control the supply, but they can cut you off if you don't pay up. They have a list. Lawlessness, though, isn't the sole preserve of the countryside. Our teams come south to Kabul, a city plagued by endless kidnappings. Even here in the capital, the government so feeble that abduction is big business. Police special forces, anxious to show they're doing something, say they have intelligence that 2 young hostages are being held by a gang in the suburbs. They've set up a raid. Here's the plan. This woman will pose as a beggar and knock at the door. The theory is, with women around, they won't open fire. And on this occasion, it all seems to go like clockwork. 3 kidnappers marched out at gunpoint. Moments later, 2 terrified and bewildered hostages, both, we're told, sons of prominent businessmen, lured from their homes and seized. There are scores of kidnaps around Kabul every year. The police say these 2 had been held for almost 3 weeks. Mulla Meshe is never far from his Kalashnikov these days. One of the country's most prominent hostages, a cousin of the former king of Afghanistan. He was kidnapped and held in this well with another hostage for 10 days.
One of the kidnappers told me they wanted money. I told them, I am not a businessman. I'm not working for the government. I don't have property. His answer was very brutal. He said, when we cut off your finger and send it to your family, we'll find your property and your money.
Police in Kabul reckon at least 30 people are currently abducted. Setting up a meeting with kidnappers is obviously dangerous, unpredictable. It's almost unheard of for such people to talk openly, still less show off their operation. Channel 4 News gained such access after weeks of negotiation. And here is Mateen Khan. The hair's a badge of status for bandits. You are now in the heart of an ongoing kidnap in the suburb of Kabul. The penalty if Khan is caught is death. He's keen to try and justify himself.
We are not dealing with poor people. We're only going to kidnap the people who have taken foreign money from all over the world, but who have kept it for themselves. We will kidnap their children. You see their 6-year-olds sitting in the back seat of a Lexus, the latest model, the model people abroad can't even afford. So we kidnap these type of children to get the money off their families, the money they have stolen.
Moments later, he showed off an Afghan teenager held hostage right here in this suburb of Kabul.
Is this him?
Yes, this is him.
If you don't get the money, what will you do with him?
We'll sell him, or take his eyes out and bring him to the eye hospital and call his relatives. Or we'll sell him to the Taliban.
Apparent proof here of what's been so widely rumoured, the link between criminal gangs and the Taliban.
How much would the Taliban pay?
They'll pay what we want. Your time's up now. Go away.
The interview was over. Children for sale, the Taliban's parallel government, and the booming kidnap business. All of them fueled by corruption, lawlessness, and the desperate need to get money, anything considered. It is the essence of what Afghanistan has crumbled to. And the hostage, well, the kidnappers said his father was rich. He'd taken money from 37 foreign countries, they said. We do not know if he made it out of here alive.